mindset reset expert, helping business women to understand themselves, to reset their mindset and give them the skill set to move forward fearlessly, fabulously, and into where they will thrive. So if that isn't you yet, then and you're on some part of that journey, then I hope you're tuning into my regular videos, I suppose we'd call them. I want to talk today about selling, because last week I talked about pricing. So this week's selling, because I tell you what, it doesn't matter what your pricing is, if you're not selling it, there's no point. I remember once hearing a story from a guy who said, yeah, if you go to a garage and it says the fuel is £1.49 a litre and the one up the road is £2.49 a litre, you go to the £1.49 a litre and they don't sell it, it doesn't exist, they've run out, then you're not going to get it. So you could undersell something, but actually if it's not being sold, there's no point. So what is your fear of selling? It's the $10 million question, or even the £1,000 question, or the £10 question, depending on where your business and you sit in the marketplace. Let me tell you, I know what it is. I have coached and trained and mentored in corporate and outside of it. I've managed sales teams, I've recruited them, I've mentored and trained and certified, and I know the biggest fear. The biggest fear is being pushy, because none of us like to be sold to. Have a think about this. Unless, of course, you are a sales trainer and then you love it because you're like, oh, I'm watching the strategy. But none of us like to be sold to. We don't like to be pushed. We don't like to be so talked at. We don't want to think that we feel pressured. We want to feel like we are in control of the decision, that we are asking the questions. We hold all of the power. All buyers want this. So if you're pushy and talking at people, you will feel shit about it. The icky, horrible, salesy. The only other time you're not going to like sales is if you don't believe in what you're selling. So if I had a product that I didn't believe worked, I wouldn't want to sell it either. Would you? No. So the clues are in how you're approaching this. So if you're avoiding sales altogether, have a look at what you've got. Because I tell you now, if you could understand the value of what you do, and I feel sure you're fabulous. You wouldn't be trying so hard if you weren't. But you're probably very service-based, in which case selling makes you just want to run for the hills. But if you take what you've got, I just want you to build the value of it. Just with me now. What is the value? How do people feel before they do your thing, buy your thing, use your thing? How do people feel during the thing? How do people change their lives with your thing? Listen, I bought a bath mat that changed my life. It doesn't matter what it is either. And how do they feel afterwards? What's the outcome? What is that journey, the stack, as it were? Because once you really power that up in your own head, and you know the people it's for and how it's going to change something for them, make them joyful, take their pain away, whatever it's going to do, you will want to talk about it. I don't mean sell it to people that don't need it. Talk about it to people who do. And this is why all of the coaches, including me, talk about your ideal client avatar, because until you know what you're selling and who you're selling it to, then actually that sales process feels, ugh. So I've got a story. I've got a story about a guy called Steve years and years and years ago, and you may have heard this, so I apologize if you've been in my community for a while. Years ago, I used to do a lot of public speaking. I'm a trained public speaker. And one time I was doing a talk about beliefs. I've talked about beliefs most of the time because with them reset, everything's fabulous. If they're upset, it's not. And I remember saying to them, who here doesn't believe they can sell? And there's about 25 entrepreneurs in this room and we're having breakfast. And this guy put his hand straight up. And I said, oh, what's your name? He said, my name's Steve. I said, Steve, so you don't believe you can sell? He said, no. He said, absolutely not. I hate it. By the way, hating something and not being good at it are different things. So I said, so you're telling me, I said, what's your business? And he told me what his business was. And I said, and so you've never made a sale in your business, Steve? He said, oh, no. He said, I've made lots of sales. I said, oh, have you got a sales team or do you do that? I said, no, I do it. I said, so it's not that you're no good at sales, you hate it. He said, yeah. And I said, tell me when you decided this. Tell me when you decided that you hated sales, you're no good at it. Because the evidence, actually, this guy had £1 million business. The evidence is telling me they're actually pretty good at it. And that even if you don't like it, you're really good at it. And normally we like things we're really good at. And actually, Steve had a think. And I saw his brain, as I do when I'm coaching people one-to-one or in groups, actually. he had this moment where he remembered. And it turns out that when he was about 16, Steve worked for a used car dealership. And there was only a certain amount of cars on the forecourt. And his boss used to say to him, no matter who comes in, you've got the car for them. So, you know, if little Mrs. Smith comes in and she wants a blue Escort, you'll have to sell her a red Fiesta, because actually we haven't got a blue Escort. So actually your job is to understand basically what they want and then get the thing that fits it nearest and sell it. And as Steve was telling the story, I could feel all of these kind of, oh shit, shift moments going on. And I just said to him, so Steve, it's not that you're not good at sales. You're not good at pushing something on someone when they want something else. And he went, that's exactly it. And actually I said, at the moment, your business, you sell a thing to somebody and they need it. He said, yes, that's why you're successful. So don't try and sell your thing to somebody who doesn't need it or want it. Your job as the person who is selling or promoting or marketing or serving, whatever you want to call it, is to understand if that person really needs it. And when all of your sales process is around questions so that that person can answer in their own head and make their own decisions, they will move towards it and buy it without all of that icky, horrible, selling. So I hope this helps. And if you need any more help with this, I'm happy to go through your process and help you understand what's going on and what's getting in your way. Because a business without any sales, well, even if you're a charity, you need income, isn't a business. You might be busy, but you're not in business. So you need to sort that out. And I'd love to help you with that. Hope this has helped.